Hello and welcome to episode 56 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. It's been a while. I kind of forgot which order to do things. I'm Darby Hallman.
I am Jeff Mayo.
Jeff,
Darby,
welcome back.
Yep.
I feel like we've haven't done this in a long time, but we kind of have, just in a different way. We actually done more of this than we ever have before in the last few weeks. If you didn't catch all of our E3 coverage, it's all up there on YouTube. On the Nerds at Large YouTube page, you can see all of the things that we did, hours upon hours of content, or just a little 30 minutes at the end if you want those.
Yep. We have time codes for all the video, I guess so. You didn't know, for early stuff we did reactions to all the press conferences.
Yeah.
Then we did reactions. All but two of them are in the same video as the reactions, and we have time codes for those.
Yep, so if you just want to see our reactions to certain games, which I think we had some pretty good reactions to a few things, mostly Jeff, mostly because Kingdom Hearts was showed at 3 different conferences. And
that helps.
In the C3. This was the E3 of Kingdom Hearts, which helps with seeing Jeff excited about things.
Yes.
But there was definitely some other ones. So if you want to check that out, definitely do that. And really soon we should have our full E3 wrap up, recap, thoughts, whatever episode with Will Outlaw alongside us.
And he's not here. This week he's been in every city in South Carolina.
Yeah,
but
really,
this one.
He's just going on his world press tour or something.
But that would mean the state of South Carolina by world.
Yeah. Oh, this is the entire world.
Yeah.
Nothing
so
else.
That's why we're not doing it this week.
Yeah, so this will just be a normal podcast. We're not really going to talk about E3. Okay. Hi, Jeff. We're back.
We're back.
Yeah, anyway, check out all that E3 stuff. This will be a normal episode, but we will talk all about E3 later.
And find out the winner of our betting thing.
Yes, the most important thing. You know, E3, whatever, but the predictions is the most important thing. So you'll see if I took over Will Outlaw as champion, or if Jeff just came his first championship whatever.
First time betting things since last E3.
Or if Will has reclaimed his title, or
protected his title. He's won all of them, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Not really fond of that Will Outlaw. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Level
what a dork.
I mean, overall, E3 was good, right?
Yeah.
E3 was good. E3 was very good. Jeff.
Darby.
It's been a while since we've had a podcast. So I've played quite a few games since the last time.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't played as much as I hoped, but E3 kind of stopped.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Have we had a podcast since we got our laptops and I started playing Divinity?
Since you got your laptop, definitely not, because you got it right before E3, I believe. Or shortly before, and we did the predictions thing before.
That's right.
So you might have had it for that. But.
Yeah, so I guess that's a new development. Me and Jeff both got gaming laptops now. We are officially PC gamer boys as well.
Yeah, we haven't really done that yet.
No, and we don't really know what we're doing.
Speaking of, I really feel like since it's less than $5, I get that Slap City game.
Oh, dude, we could do a Let's Play on that so easy. I would love to do that.
Okay.
It looks so bad.
Exactly.
Just how quickly would our channel just evolve into we're playing terrible games, but.
Only if they're less than $5.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. Yeah, the best terrible games are. But with this laptop, I've been playing Divinity Original Sin 2, which is a game that I've wanted to play for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's coming to consoles, but just everything I saw, I assumed it was going to run better on a PC, and I wanted to test out my new fancy PC. Yep. Anyway, and this game, Jeff, is so good. It's a very kind of old school top down RPG, kind of Baldur's Gate looking, and it's turn based, very you kind of have it's not grid based, but it's like that, you're moving characters around a little map and positioning them in certain ways. Very Fire Emblem but there's so many more mechanics in there than Fire Emblem, which is, it's good, but it also makes it very challenging.
Yeah.
the game is very, very punishing when it comes to its combat, but just this is probably already one of the most free and open games that I've played as far as role playing. Any situation that you walk into, you can kind of choose any path that you want to do, and whether you can pretty much fight any NPC that you see, or you can befriend them, or you can do.
So you've been killing them all, right?
Just slaughtering everyone. And it's a very like, if you don't know anything about it, it's a like fantasy type setting with there. And the biggest thing that I could tell people to like really understand what it is this game is like literally like playing in a video game a D&D campaign, because there's like action points. The combat is a lot like D&D's combat is, and you even like when you walk into an area or something, there'll be a narrator that comes on and says, the elf comes up to you and stabs you in the chest.
Okay.
Or whatever happens.
So Alex is the narrator.
If apparently you can put in your own assets in the game, and it has like you can create a whole campaign in there. You have to like, I don't know, and they're very like mod friendly, so you can like get people's assets from Steam and use it and create your own campaign. So Alex could go create some sadistic campaign that like where you all die, and you know that's what he would do.
Yep.
But like, I've really like head over heels for this game from like just a story perspective. It's like scratching that RPG itch that, you know, I guess hasn't been scratched since The Witcher, but this is kind of a completely different type of thing. So it's very interesting. I want to play it a lot more. I'm probably like 20 hours in, but I get the feeling that's...
So you're a tenth of the way through.
Yeah, I get the feeling that's like barely scratching the surface. And I'm still trying to learn like some of the mechanics, because it doesn't tell you anything. You kind of just get dropped in. Can you mute that, please?
Yes.
Good, sir. We're trying to record a podcast.
Sorry.
But it's a really fun game. You would love it.
Yeah, I know.
You would love it. It's a time suck, but you would love it.
I know. We'll get to her later. There are too many JRPGs I want this year, man.
Yeah.
We got Octopath in less than a month.
Yeah. But I'm going to whittle away at this a lot. And it's like, it has that Fable humor that I love. Like, it's scratching like in so many different ways. It's like a game for Darby. So I'm loving it. I guess just very quick, the other things. I'm kind of going against the role and going very into these. The other thing I'm playing Gravity Rush 2.
Oh yeah.
I know it's been a while. Obviously me and Jeff, we've talked about it before. We loved the original Gravity Rush, just a charming, awesome game. And I'm glad to finally be getting around to this game. And I've been saying this to Jeff like the last few weeks. Mechanically wise, like I can't.
10 out of 10, right?
It's so weird, especially like Gravity Rush 2 was the first game I played after God of War, which God of War is this like technical masterpiece where it's just, you know, nothing's there that shouldn't be there. You know, everything is just fine-tuned to be like, you know, a masterclass in game design. And then Gravity Rush 2 is like, oh, I lost my cat. Can you go get him off the top of that building? Oh, thanks. Here's a coin.
And you're a superhero.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like kind of fetch quest type stuff, and there's a lot of like design, like filler stuff that used to be in a lot of games that's like frustrating. But for some reason, I just don't mind it as much in Gravity Rush. And
it's fun just to fly around, man.
That like, I still just something about like that art style. It has to still be one of my favorite art styles in a video game. Period. That it's like cel shaded, but there's something different about it, you know. And Cat and all the characters are just very, very charming. It's easy to fall in love with those characters, and this is just a game that it's fun to just chill with. Yeah,
and play at some point.
To just like sit down and not have to like, yeah, it's not a masterpiece. I cannot like recommend it to you on like this is a great video game, but it's fun. And it kind of like, it's nostalgic for me in a way, because like games used to be like that. I like it a lot. And the biggest thing about it is that I love is the music, which it's like the music's like such a step up from the first game, and the first game was awesome. It's like the big band stuff in there mixed with a bunch of other things. It's something really awesome. So
yeah, I need to play it. I feel like I've asked you this recently. Do we know if the Raven DLC is still free?
Yep.
Okay, I couldn't remember if that was just a time thing or what.
Yep. When I bought it, it came up. Do you want to download this? I said yeah. So it's waiting for me.
Good.
Yep.
That's to it.
And the last thing was Hollow Knight, which I haven't played enough of, but it was shadow dropped in Nintendo. Played a little bit of it, already loving it. It's Metroidvania. It doesn't tell you anything. You're just already lost, and you're fine with it because it's just beautiful.
And you go through. I played that some as well as one of my games. Did all that. Yeah, don't know anything's going down. You get some stuff like okay, yeah, you get lost. I found one guy who sold me a map.
Yep.
And there's a chance you can not meet this guy if you go a certain way.
And I guess you just...
At least based on what we know.
Then you're really lost.
Yeah. And then he mentioned his wife, so you can go back up to the shop to the main area. Get a compass, which I guess would help. I think that's the last thing I got.
Okay, I don't even think I got the compass from you.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how effective that is.
Yeah, I kind of like... It's one of those games that you're fine with being lost in.
Yeah.
You're kind of like... You don't know where to go, but you're kind of just roaming around.
And this might be ignorance on my part because I am not a Soulsborne guy, but part of what I've seen so far is like a mix of Metroidvania games mixed with some Dark Souls stuff as far as like dying and stuff goes, and the difficulty, because it can be difficult. I heard it's difficult. Actually, we're early in the thing, and there's the whole thing when you die, you lose your stuff. Yeah. You're kind of weakened, and you have to go back to where you died and grab your stuff.
Yeah, in that way, it's definitely like that's kind of borrowed from Souls very clearly.
And it's very important because you need money to buy stuff. Yes. And yeah, you lose your money, you go back and you gotta go get it.
And I've already several times died with a bunch of stuff. I'm like, no.
Yeah, well, I died once.
Yeah, but I'm so down to keep doing that. That's gonna be the Switch game that I want to play portably when I'm out in places.
And it's a very meaty game from what I heard. And our versions come with the DLC right away.
Yeah.
So who knows how that stuff activates? We might be going into DLC not knowing it, which will add time.
Who knows? Yeah, I kind of want to just play that game aimless like that.
Yeah.
It's, this is a lot more like, this is a lot different than like Ori's type of Metroidvania. It's a different one, but I'm so excited to do it. All right, what else you got, Jeff?
This is just a quick thing. I guess we can talk about Fortnite was announced for Switch and Shadow Drop. I guess we can just kind of talk about how it is as a port from when you play.
Yeah, we became a Nintendo Switch commercial last night because it was me playing handheld on the Switch, Alex playing in the dock on the Switch, and Jeff playing on his phone, and we're all playing together in one match.
Yeah, just so people know, the only reason I play on my phone, obviously, I guess we didn't have any more Switches or or anything else to really hook up easily.
Now, Jeff didn't just elect to play on his phone because he wanted to. But
yeah, I mean, we have our laptop, actually, I did not have my laptop, but we didn't feel like downloading on Darby's. I guess it's one of those things we might as well.
But I mean, I think it ran relatively smoothly. I mean, I don't know how the phone controls were like for you, but so
I got more used to them, and also I'm not that good, so what difference does it make?
None of us are that good, but that's a very cool thing that like anyone who has a Switch or even a phone, you can all like sit together and like just bust it out, and it's free, so you don't have to like feel bad about getting someone to buy something to play with you. It's like, and it was just so much fun to just be able to goof off and play that all together. I guess unless you're on PlayStation, Jeff. I guess.
Will we talk about that later, Darby?
We will talk about that later.
Okay. Next thing, another game we played yesterday, Mario Tennis Aces.
Yes. I am excited about Mario Tennis Aces, which is not completely surprising to me, but the amount that I liked it was, I guess, surprising. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. This is a fighting game, tennis game.
Yeah, all the mechanics. You got to worry about meter. You got to worry about super moves. You got to kind of anticipate your opponent's moves.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously got to do that in tennis anyway, but it feels like it's more amplified here.
It's definitely like it's a more like video gamey tennis.
Yeah,
and it's weird because like it doesn't feel like, usually I would think it feels more video gamey because it's like Nintendo Chaos, and there is some of that there, but this seems a little more deliberate. Like the stuff that you're doing, seems like a lot more strategic than some of other Nintendo sports or party games and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like this, I feel like they took an approach to it to like a very like strategic and tactical approach, not just wacky stuff all the time.
Yeah, and as far as the wacky stuff, we haven't gotten big into the options, but you kind of set us up the way you want it. You play regular tennis, or even with the KO system thing, we can turn that all by itself if you wanted to.
Right, so you kind of have freedom to play as stripped down as you want, or as
crazy as you want.
Yeah. And like just picking it up, like none of us knowing how to play and just learning as we went, it was pretty easy to get the basics of and hard to master. Mm-hmm. And I think we were all on pretty even decently even.
And we could tell right away, at least from a class standpoint, characters were different to the point.
Yeah.
We already have kind of our mains for the moment.
Yeah, and they all play like pretty different, and it's like really like that's definitely gonna be one of the rotations of multiplayer games. I know you and many other people have said there's some issues with the single player, which I mean I guess is not as important in a game like this. But
no. If I heard about the single, if I just mainly care about the single player thing, then I would have tried to cancel my pre-order before. But obviously, the main reason I got this game as quick as I did because like I felt this would be a good multiplayer thing.
Yeah, it was
a good story mode would just be a bonus.
Yep, it would. The just the only thing, like, I wish this game was, like, I'm not complaining. I mean, I know that this is a full game. I just wish that it wasn't $60. I wish it was a little bit less so I could, like, justify having this fun tennis game, but 60 just feels...
Sorry, you can get it for 50.
Can't get it for 50, thanks, Best Buy. But I'm enjoying it. I think this is a good addition to the Switch. It's going to be a good addition to make it even more that multiplayer system.
They're doing good... Or it's like they're going to be doing a good job supporting it in the future because they're going to have monthly tournaments, and each tournament comes with a character. Ooh. And you don't have to participate in the tournament to get the character. It's just that if you participate in the tournament, you get it faster.
Okay.
So I think it's like if you participate in the tournament and do some stuff, you get it right away. And if you don't, you get it after the tournament's done, which I'm okay with that system.
That's fine.
Yeah. People want to work to get those characters or have time to do it.
Good for them.
Yeah. Yep. I'll just get them afterwards, most likely. I might try the tournaments. We'll see.
Do it, Jeff. You might become a pro tennis player. You know?
I might. Next game I played, Runner 3. Played that some. I don't know how far into that. I played a fair amount. This is a pretty hard game, Darby, especially if you're trying to go through and get all the collectibles, dear lord. People who don't know, Runner 3 is like an endless runner type thing, but that's not doing it justice.
Or yeah,
it's like in a way like a rhythm game in some ways,
which you kind of just have to see it.
Yeah, it has a weird, crazy art style, which from I've seen turned some people off. I'm into that wacky art style.
Yeah, it's a very like Rick and Morty kind of like surrealist type art style. Yeah,
I haven't got to it yet, but it's narrated by the guy who voices Mario, and he is playable in the game as well as Shovel Knight.
That's awesome. Well, Shovel Knight's in like every indie game.
Yeah. But it is a lot of fun. It is hard. It can be frustrating, but to me, not in a bad way right now.
Is it one of those, by the time you finish a level, like when you finally beat a level, you feel like you've accomplished something?
One criticism is there is one checkpoint in each level. I feel like the amount of a level in between the beginning of the checkpoint and the checkpoint in the end could be a little shorter. It feels like it could be a little long to where if you do lose close to the beginning of the checkpoint, it feels like you lost more progress than you probably should.
Yeah, you feel like, oh god, I have to start all over.
Yeah, that's my only complaint.
Yeah, I can understand that.
This is a fun little game and I recommend it. I need to play it some more.
I love the music and just how much the music ties into your jumping and everything. It's just a very unique game.
Again, and the art style and stuff and the designs of everything, really cool. And this went from the first one being a food-based world with, you're in the fridge and all that stuff. You're in a giant cereal box and all that kind of stuff in the background to now I'm like in a more horror thing where I have eyeballs shooting at me.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So why not? Let's see. Okay, 2 more things. This next one is something you've also played, Darby. Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
We got on that train finally.
Yes. Yeah,
we played that for a decent amount.
Several months late, and it was a very spur of the moment, just like, oh, you're getting Monster Hunter? Okay, I guess we'll all get Monster Hunter.
I think it also helped for us that it was on sale when we looked.
Yeah, that does help a lot, too. I've been really enjoying it, Jeff.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying it a lot. Disclaimer, holy balls, that online system is terrible.
That's
like
obviously the main negative for us.
Like, it's so bad that I struggle to, like, I've had my brother-in-law was saying like, oh, how is it? I was like, it's good. I don't know if I completely recommend it because like you don't play games that much, no offense or whatever, and you're probably not gonna want to deal with, like, you have to like beat your head against the wall and like go through all these like crazy ludicrous loops just to get in the game with your friends.
Question, because I'm mainly gonna think about kind of funny with this. Do they ever bring this stuff up?
Yeah, I think they did at the very beginning, and they just loosely said like Yeah, that stuff's bad, but the game's really good. And like, don't get me wrong, the game is really good. Like, whenever we get into a match, like, I'm not gonna go into how the online thing works because it'll be like 10 minutes of me explaining it. Just know
I'll
that
just bring
it's
up one thing
complicated.
that's not just the main dumb thing is the fact for when someone's playing a story cutscene, you can't be on there until the last cutscene is played.
So like one of us, especially since we're all like around the same level of the story, like we all have to individually go through and get to this cutscene, and then 3 of us have to back out and then join in that the first person's instead of just all of us going through it at the same time. Like this is a game. This is a multiplayer centric game where the story is complete nonsense that no one cares about. No one cares about.
I don't even say it's nonsense. I don't even say this really isn't any story. It's more like you go take care of this monster. Which
that's fine. But the thing is, it's a multiplayer game with a BS story that is really, really like proud of the story for some reason. Like it really wants you to see that story uninterrupted with like no chance of you missing anything, to the point to where it takes away from the multiplayer, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Part of me wishes we can just get the multiplayer wasn't that long and we can just all get through it, on our own and then just do all the other missions together.
Yeah.
But from the looks of it, we're going to need the help anyway, so.
I mean, it's just like, I feel like at least a fourth of our play sessions is dealt with just trying to connect and trying to do different things and typing in. You have this giant like online session ID that you have to type out this long thing to get in there, which there's probably an easier way, but
I think it's when I won't get so I think that's when the squad we can make that easier.
Yeah, there probably is, but
we'll just need to try it out next time.
Like regardless, it kind of like I heard people say this was bad, but it's way worse than I thought, and it kind of blows my mind that this is Capcom and this is like a multi-million copy selling game.
Their top selling game of all time, Darby.
And like and it's so well polished. Like the combat is so good, and the systems are so deep, and the actual game is so good. So it blows my mind that there's just simple things that I'm like playtesters should have been like, fix this. Yeah. So it makes me mad. But at the end of the day, the actual game is fun, and I want to play it more. Yeah. Like I really want to keep playing it. And this is like we don't do these multiplayer experiences very much, and I like this. Like we're all like teaming up to take down these big monsters, and it's like doing different tactics. It's awesome.
Now, Darby, now that you played some Monster Hunter, how open are you to a Monster Hunter character or something in Smash?
Sure, man, bring it on. But if it's the handler, I will scream.
No.
I imagine they'll jump off a cliff.
I imagine to do something similar to what they did in Marvel vs. Capcom. Just call it like the Hunter.
Like their creative base.
Yeah, just have a default thing.
Yeah.
Cool. I got one more thing.
Okay.
Splatoon.
Really need to get into this.
Splatoon 2 Octo expansion.
Okay.
That was kind of shadow dropped. It's kind of like here it is.
The next day.
Next day type thing. Really wasn't the conference, but whatever. So what this is, if you don't know. In Splatoon, you got the Inklings, which are regular playable characters, and you have the Octolings, which are normally the enemy thing. But in this, you're playing as an Octoling that you make. Yeah, she has the Octoling. I made a girl because in Inkling, girl designs are just better.
They are.
This is always the case. But you wake up, you have amnesia, blah blah blah. You meet some of the characters from Splatoon, like Captain Cuttlefish.
Of course.
Yeah.
The titular character.
Yeah. And you meet a bunch of characters. You meet a bunch of new characters who have a bunch of cool designs. Your underground and stuff. Your HUD is a train, and from there you switch. You pick missions and stuff, and you go to them. There are 80 missions in all. I played about 10, and I'm just gonna say right now, I think people agree. This is exactly what I wanted the Splatoon 2 regular campaign to be.
Okay.
This is what I wanted. It has some challenge. It's varied. It takes advantage of the stuff they made up or they've used in the previous campaigns, but using them a lot more creative ways. Each level so far is a lot different, and they're doing this cool thing where they have set loadouts you can pick for each level, like 3 of them. You get to pick, and they have one says this is recommended to be the easiest thing, but the reward to be smaller, and each thing is set by reward, because there's one that's obviously going to be harder, but you get more stuff out of it if you succeed.
Right. So is the gameplay, I mean, like, does it have, like, the platforming and the other, like,
it has some of the platform thing,
like
but it's a lot different. Like, there's, like, one level, for example, where you've seen the super when you're in a hamster ball, right?
Maybe. Just carry on.
Yeah. There's one level, and I'm sure there'll be more, that you're in a hamster ball the whole time. You have to keep on kind of bouncing and everything and blowing up.
Okay.
And you can blow up with ink and everything and go along the level.
Okay.
There's a bunch of crazy stuff like that.
So it like changes.
Yeah, it changes significantly. A lot
doesn't
more.
Feel tacked on because
yeah. And yeah.
I mean, a lot of Splatoon always like the little bit I played of the like single player thing, and both of them it was like it just felt like I'm using this multiplayer game's mechanics to do like kind of tacked on platforming and tacked on like other stuff.
It's really well done, but this is just taking the whole level, and this is what everyone, fun on red, everyone agrees with me. This is what we wanted from the regular Splatoon 2 campaign. So
That's cool.
This might be one thing I may have to make an exception if it keeps on going like that. I may have to squeeze into my top 10 of the year. We'll see how that goes.
Oh wow,
That's his own thing.
High praise.
And again, that's what I want. I love Splatoon.
High praise. How long is this thing?
I can't. 80 levels.
Wow.
So.
I don't know how much. How long?
Again, it's harder, so I'm having to redo more than I had.
I heard it's hard. I heard people say it was hard.
So
I have not plugged in my laptop. So Jeff, carry on, and I need to get that.
Well, I think that's it. More to say about. I think we'll have more to say about all these games later. We're all pretty early on, relatively, in all these.
Yep.
So I think it's time we finally get to the news, Darby.
It's a news jingle, Jeff.
Jingle, jingle, jangle. It's been a while.
It's been a while, man.
Okay. So for the news this week, obviously from the news this past week, we're going to talk about, there wasn't a crazy amount. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. And we're going to go over...
Once again, E3 episode coming.
Yeah. And we are going to go over a couple E3 things that we did not talk about. So they were in the press conferences, and they're kind of announced shortly before that we were able to talk about, or during E3.
Yeah.
I probably missed some stuff.
Oh,
it's hard to go back.
Absolutely.
Look back and see everything that was announced during that time. Okay.
Just so much.
Yeah. So first thing, this comes from Jordan Alleman from IGN. After a series of teasers and leaks, Hitman 2 has been officially revealed by developers IO Interactive. This is old news, but we haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah.
WB Games has announced the sequel to 2016's episodic Hitman will be available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November 13th. The story will follow Agent 47 as he works to hunt the elusive Shadow Client, unravel his militia once and for all. And here's some other facts real quick. The full game will also be available 4 days before its official release for those who pre-order the gold or collector's editions. There's a standalone co-op mode, Sniper Assassin, and it can also be played single player.
Okay.
And this game is not episodic. It's all coming out once, which has some people disappointed. It's kind of weird that people were so bummed about it being episodic, the first one. Yeah. And now everyone's like, oh, it's not episodic.
Well, and that's what I feel like I blinked and suddenly people had gone from being mad about it being episodic to enjoying it being episodic. It was weird.
Yeah. But I understand it. As someone who's just kind of followed people's reactions to the whole thing, I have the game. I need to play it. This coming out kind of moves it up my whole backlog, list thing.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand it. I can imagine with this kind of game, people being bummed about being episodic, of course, at first.
Yeah.
But then when they got the game, everyone actually really enjoyed it. Each mission becoming piecemeal because they were able to completely explore the map and all it had to offer and do a bunch of different things. And IO Interactive added some new missions to it, like the special targets or whatever.
Yeah.
Them doing that, so people actually really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, if the developer, if it's better for them to be able to, like, spend a much time, like, if they get to spend more time on each area because of doing it that way, then great. Me personally, I like to be able to enjoy a whole package at my pace, not like same reason why, like, I don't like. I'm going to not enjoy the fact that I'm going to have to play Life is Strange Season 2 episode to episode. Because there's no way I'm going to wait, but I would rather wait. I would rather...
We'll get to that later.
I would rather just go boom, 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 boom. That's just a personal preference of mine.
Yeah.
But I understand. I mean, it doesn't seem like...
I feel like this is a little different, though, with the whole Hitman thing. Because, let's face it, Life is Strange, you're playing for the story.
Yes.
Hitman... Not many people are.
This is also true.
There's a whole gameplay.
But besides that, let's talk about the game. Did you see that gameplay? Like they showed that world over.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that looks good.
It looks awesome. I was blown away by like visually just how awesome it looked.
Oh yeah,
it was like.
Hitman 2016 looks like a good game, and I guess you just look at some of the stuff, it doesn't look that much better, but in a way it is, because I feel like this world, it looks more, or at least the mission I saw was more vibrant.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, it was a very different type of vibe. It's very colorful and everything. It just seemed like it was big. Like, I know you like went up all these floors, and there was like an auto shop, and then like the party floor.
Yeah,
there's like
more variety in the world.
Yeah, there was, and it looked like there was like so many different things you can interact with, and so many different ways.
The world
to do
fit
it.
more alive compared to the other ones.
To be fair, I haven't played the 2016 one, and I haven't seen anything from it in a long time. So like, this might not be that much different, but this looked cool to me.
I feel like your opinion. I feel like most people agree, because people who I've listened to who play Hitman kind of agree with all this stuff.
Yeah. And watching it, I immediately had the thought that this would be fun to play with Jeff and maybe do a stream, maybe do a like let's play thing.
Here's the thing, like I said,
making decisions, like you playing and me being like, all right, kill him. I don't want to kill him.
Okay, yeah, we could.
That'd be fun.
Here's the thing.
We should do it for 2016. If we should. Do
it
for
definitely.
Hitman 1,
but what helps me potentially getting this potentially close release, we'll probably. Darry, I assume we're going to do the same thing we do about every 6 months, where we run down the release thing and talk about.
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Looking at that, I already made a giant list of it. After September, not until Smash in December, there's nothing really for me.
So yeah, might as well.
So it's kind of lonely there in October and November.
You already have Hitman. First
I already have it, so I can go through that at some point. I need to get on the late to the party games. Since I kind of nixed that retro rule, I might push that up. Yeah. That and Resident Evil up.
Yeah, maybe we can play that one together. I mean, I feel like even if it's not like co-op, like it would be fun to play together and make decisions and stuff.
Yeah. We'll stop after this, but Team 4-Star kind of played it together. What they did is after someone failed, they switched the controller. And
that could be cool.
Yeah,
that could be cool. And then just every time you get caught, you drink.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, Jeffrey.
Yeah, excited for the game. Hope it does well. But also, just one more thing real quick. I'm interested to see if some sales-related data is the reason they made it full thing and not episodic.
Could be. And, like, they're they're in a completely different situation now, being kind of on their own than they were before. So maybe there's a million reasons why.
I'm not going to change my mind, though, that I think episodic ended up being the right choice for the first one.
Yeah.
But, like you said, things change.
Like, I thought about, like, it's kind of, everyone was bummed out about the episodic, and they ended up being the same thing. It always makes me think about, remember when Titanfall 1 came out, and everyone was like, it's multiplayer only? There's no single player? What? This is terrible. Now that's like every game. This Overwatch, Destiny, everything. It's like, things change.
Have you seen Titanfall? Okay. Moving on. This comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. It appears Netflix is partnering with Telltale Games for an interactive game based off of Stranger Things.
Damn it. I was going to do the theme song, but I couldn't. Anyway.
Through TechRadar initially indicated that the potential Stranger Things game would be coming to the streaming service, Netflix issued a response declaring that it would be more traditional Telltale series on standard gaming platforms. But that's not the only thing coming as part of the collaboration. Netflix will indeed offer Telltale's Minecraft story mode on the streaming service. Netflix has dabbled in interactive experience before, including Puss in Book, Trapped in an Epic Tale, and Buddy Thunderstruck, the Maybe Pile, which were both choose-your-own adventure stories for younger viewers. I think we need to stream those stories.
I think so, too. That's exactly what I was thinking.
However, Minecraft Story Mode will make its first Telltale adventure as well as the first interactive game rather than an interactive TV show or a movie. So, yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I'm thinking, I don't think this is going to be that good.
I don't. Like...
Now, some things I think for Telltale stuff works as a Telltale series. Batman... Yes. Minecraft? Yes. Tales of the Borderland? Yes. Stranger Things? No. Because that's a story that's already told. It's like, okay, I guess we don't know the information. Are they going to use the same characters? Is it just going to be a spin on the story? Or is it going to be characters in the universe? Which
which
doesn't work more often than does.
Yeah, and with all due respects to Stranger Things, it's just like I don't really necessarily know, and there's probably a lot of people that would disagree with me. Maybe I'm not like so interested in like the side stories of Stranger Things to play a whole game.
It's not like Game of Thrones where there's a giant world to do.
That's what you could tell so many stories in Game of Thrones without even touching the central characters because that world is just like ludicrously.
Actually, I'm just going through my head with more Telltale series, and I'm like, okay, all of them, maybe not where the Telltale stuff worked as well they could, but all of them mostly worked as far as their medium, like Guardians of the Galaxy and
The Walking Dead, even told like a very different story, but
because
it was
Walking Dead's the kind of thing can work as a different story from the main series. Yeah. This kind of, I didn't see season 2, like we put it that way, so maybe there was something there that makes this more plausible.
I haven't finished season 2, so I'm sure things at the end, but also like even aside from the fit, I just tell me if I'm being I don't know, weird about it, but this feels like more of a cash grabby thing than the other properties to me. Because at least the other ones, I feel like it's banking on a lot of Marvel, and I mean, I guess Game of Thrones is pretty cash grabby too. And also part of it is just I have not been thrilled with Telltale in a while, and that's I don't feel like they have that seal of quality that they always used to have.
I think what may help them with this potentially is the fact that remember a while ago we said, we had that story saying, hey, they're slowing down with the production. They're actually going to take their time more and all that stuff. So you would assume, hopefully, that would help their quality thing.
Hopefully, but they were also probably trying to get the Stranger Things out while it's still popular. And Stranger Things is not even that old.
Yeah.
As a series, I mean, they could.
Oh, well, here's the thing: we don't have unless I missed them. We don't have a release date or anything.
No.
This could be. It may not. It could be a thing if we don't hear about it again, I would make the prediction we're seeing it at the Game Awards with an announcement.
Yeah, they've had a lot of other announcements there.
I think at least 2 or 3, at least for Jeff Keighley stuff, Telltale series have been announced there.
Wolf was announced there.
I think Guardians was announced there. Maybe Batman.
Yeah.
So there's a precedent for that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll keep an open mind, but I just feel like this is going to be a lot like Guardians, where I hear about it leading up to it comes out, and then I don't hear anything else, and I never get it. It feels like something that would come.
What could help this as far as visibility is the fact that they're going to do that. It was like it's be playable on Netflix. I didn't have it. It's very interesting. I took it out on here, but they mentioned for the Minecraft and I guess this, you'd be able to control it with your remote.
That's really weird.
Yeah, but since it said
and that also just shows kind of how limited Telltale is. I mean, I don't mean to just crap on Telltale, but it's I would rather play Life is Strange type thing. I think Life is Strange is such a superior Telltale in my opinion, and I feel like
Until Dawn.
There's a number of superior Telltales. I mean, Telltale kind of got this type of game popular, but I do not feel like they are the juggernauts of it.
Yeah, they're just. Because of the big name, they're kind of selling. I mean, not to say all the games have been bad, but it just feels like overall people are more impressed with the other ones. And because of that, they also get the big properties, but don't always live up to that potential.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of there are very good Telltale games, and I think there's very mediocre ones. Everything I've heard of Wolf Among Us sounds awesome. And,
but that one was kind of before they kind of blew up to the level they are now.
It's true. But
we haven't heard about season 2 in a while. Okay, next thing. We got a game announcement, which I feel bad because I should have watched that trailer, but moving on.
I didn't know either.
Yeah. This comes from Evan Campbell from IGN. Set in 1980s Sweden, Generation Zero sees players taking on hostile robots in an open world. After Avalanche Studios teased the game yesterday, this was actually weeks ago, the company behind Just Cause revealed today that Generation Zero is planned for release in 2019 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. The self-published game allows for people to play alone or squad up with 3 friends for co-op. Generation Zero will also offer a day-night cycle with weather conditions. Avalanche is utilizing the Apex engine for the game and promising that players can lure, cripple, or destroy the robot enemies. There seems to be some sort of loot mechanic in the game as well. Sounds cool. We should have watched that trailer.
There's some buzzwords.
Yeah.
There's some gaming
buzzwords. I heard some people excited about this, so that'd be cool.
Maybe we'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah. I think... Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Will kind of interested in this one? I feel like
I know he likes Avalanche. I mean,
I think he mentioned it a couple times.
He likes Mad Max a lot.
Yeah, so.
Isn't Avalanche Studios? I mean, maybe they should have multiple different teams because they're making
Just Cause.
Yeah, Just Cause.
Yeah.
Wait, and who? No,
are they working on Just Cause? I don't know.
No, they're making Rage 2.
Okay.
Or at least a lot of the. Is it them or is it just a lot of the people from? I'll look it up. You move on.
Okay, wait. So you're going to move on to the next story?
Yep.
Okay. Because this comes from Joe Scrolls from IGN. Life is Strange will begin its second season on September 27. September, will you please stop? With the first episode coming to PC, Xbox One, and PS4. And by the way, that's not the only September date we have in this podcast.
Rage 2 Avalanche Studios.
Okay, cool. Announced on Twitter, the sequel will again comprise of 5 episodes. A teaser trailer shows the announcement being sewn across a tattered backpack. But it looks like we won't see the significance of the image until August, when developer Dontnod says we'll get more information. And hopefully it's something me and you can easily avoid.
It's Gamescom in August.
That sounds right.
So, Xbox usually has a presence at Gamescom. I can see it being shown there. This is so weird. I would not have ever expected this, but now that it's been... I mean, now that we know, it kind of makes sense now that...
August. Yep, Gamescom is end of August.
That would be my bet.
About a month before this comes out.
That would be my bet. Which, I mean, it's kind of crazy to like first kind of show it a month before it comes out if they don't show anything before then.
Yeah, but with these kind of story things, this usually was done, and in a way they started marketing it with Captain Spirit.
Right.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Or...
I was just gonna say, like, now like it seems weird, like whenever you sent me this, it's like, oh, what? E3 just passed and now they just randomly said the season 2 is coming, but now it kind of makes sense that Captain Spirit's coming out very soon after E3 and it's free, so like a lot of people will probably get onto it because it's free and like, why not? And that will kind of be playable marketing, almost like a Ground Zeroes type thing, but free to move straight into.
And in a way, the announcement, it works for Captain Spirit. It being announced a week before it's coming out, even though there wasn't much time between E3 and Captain Spirit, because now people are going to be more likely to get Captain Spirit right away because they know that Life is Strange 2 is imminent, where before we had no idea. They said it was coming soon, but...
I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's probably like a pretty smart series of events to announce this when people are looking for this one, but they don't really know much about it. Then announce the big one they want, and then the first one comes out. Everyone flocks to it. Jeff, you should be making these decisions. You should be a marketing man.
I mean, this probably increased the likelihood of me and you playing Captain Spirit right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, question. I had an idea. They may have said something that made us think otherwise, but do you think if you beat Captain Spirit and potentially may do some things, you get a Life is Strange 2 trailer? Since there's a connection.
Could be.
Yeah.
Then that would just be online very quickly. But,
it would, but I don't know.
But I could
bring out ideas.
It could be. It definitely could be. They did. It is. Does kind
they said there were connections though.
Well, it throws me off that they said like there was connections, like, but you had to be like you had to really look for them. Or
sure,
that
like, it's the trailer thing.
Yeah.
Trailer would make it obvious.
Yeah. And that also could just be something they're saying just to build intrigue, and it might be a lot more obvious than they're letting on. But who knows?
We'll see.
Either way, we're getting a lot more Life is Strange. And we've gotten Life is Strange like the year before, last year, and now we're getting like 2 different things this year. We're getting, or was it 2 years before?
Yeah, it was at least 2 years. But I think we played it later, so
anyway,
it felt like...
either way, very quickly we're getting lots of Life is Strange and all these side things.
Which works because since before the Storm wasn't made by Dontnod, but now we're getting the Dontnod stuff.
Yep.
Luckily, Before the Storm was awesome. So
it's amazing.
Me and you will gladly take more Life is Strange.
Absolutely.
Now, correct. I know we didn't pay attention. Don't not do every 2 months or every month.
Wait, what?
Like between episodes.
Oh God, I don't know. I hope it's not long, but we obviously weren't playing it.
Yeah.
It might have been too much for Before the Storm. But
double check that. Sure. Fact check, Darby.
Sure, I can fact check.
Okay, this next thing is...
But is it going to be new characters? Yes or no?
Duh. Okay. I think they even said so.
Have they? Okay.
I think they confirmed that a while ago.
Okay.
Huber's losing another bet, Darby. I think it's him.
I want it to be new characters.
Is it Huber or Bosman? One of them. Huber's losing another bet, probably.
What am I looking up again? I'm sorry.
Oh, just for Life is Strange 1, how long is between each episode?
Okay.
You can probably just go to the Wikipedia Life is Strange page.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
There were, of course, a bunch of release dates that were announced. Instead of reading stories, I'm just going to name the game, and the release date, and we can talk about those if we need to. Okay, first thing, Valkyria Chronicles 4. They announced right after E3, coming on all platforms, so PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
And Switch.
Yep,
That's
right
the
away.
One. That's the one right there.
Coming out September 25th.
Because of course it
Same
is.
week as Life is Strange. And Spyro.
Like, October's right there, everyone. Can we just
Everyone
chill?
wants to get away from Red Dead, though I don't completely buy that. Why would... Okay.
Some of these games don't need to.
I'm just going to put on the record.
This...
I don't completely buy everything getting away from Red Dead. I've never bought that thing. It's going to sell gangbusters, but...
Oh, and at some point you can, like, try to get away from it so much to where you're just running into an even bigger brick wall, which is, like, 6 different games.
That's why I don't really buy everything being in February because of Red Dead.
Like, at least, like, you're more likely to get someone who's going to buy Red Dead and your game than is going to buy Spyro, Spider-Man, Tomb Raider, whatever, and your game, you know? Yeah. Like, I would almost rather go against the one big juggernaut than 1,000...
Yeah.
But
as far as me getting this game, like I mentioned earlier, after September until Smash, is that maybe Hitman, I've got nothing significant. So
it was 2 months in between all of them.
Dang it. So yeah, we'll figure out what we might get the last episode later.
It was 2 months between all of them until hold on, and then 3 months until episode 5.
So we may not get the last episode till like May.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, it coming out on Switch right away, I'm happy about because that was never a sure thing.
Sure thing, yeah.
And
that's
but
I
guess it makes sense since Valkyria Chronicles is already out in Japan. So the Switch version is coming out later than the other versions. It's just coming out in the US at the same time.
4 is already out in Japan?
Yes, it came out last year.
Okay. Yeah.
Just one of those things.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense, but you just never know. So that makes me happy. But the good news is, in a way, for me, Dragon Quest and Spider-Man are higher priorities. So I won't feel the need to give Valkyria Chronicles right away. So
yeah,
I can see how the Switch version is.
Yeah. You can definitely play Spider-Man faster. Not Dragon Quest, but...
Yeah. So I'll give Valkyria Chronicles this year. It'll just probably be later. And luckily, I will have time because even with Smash Bros., it's not a single-player game. So...
Yep.
I pretty much have no big single player game between the time the game came out in September and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Works for me.
so you're happy about the Kingdom Hearts story. I mean,
sure,
it is a pretty good problem to have to where a new Valkyria Chronicles is coming out and you don't have time to play it right away because there's too many other good games. Like, that's a pretty good problem.
Yeah, but I'm all in. Let's go, baby.
Yep.
Next game, Soul Calibur 6, coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 19th.
Okay.
I feel like we're yeah. See, that's going against Red Dead.
See, they're not afraid.
Yeah.
Geralt will take on all those cowboys by himself.
Do it, you cowards. So, yeah. Didn't you say you might have some interest in this game, depending?
I like some of the old ones. I feel like that was during a time where I didn't play as many games, and I wasn't, like, following this as much, and you just kind of got a game on the whim in GameStop and played it for multiple months. It's just not my life anymore.
Yeah, based on what I know from you, this is not anywhere worth $60 to $50.
No, it's not. Like, this may be, like, sometime late next year when it's really on some sale or something, maybe, because I kind of enjoy the games, but it's just a different time in gaming and a different time in my life, so probably not.
Random thought. I wonder if there's a Soul Calibur on Game Pass. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Next thing, Telltale The Walking Dead, the final season, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, August 14th. Yeah, alright, it starts August 14th. It's a Telltale game, so like Life is Strange, there are going to be episodes.
Cool.
Yeah. People are excited for that.
Yep.
Next thing, Overkill's The Walking Dead. If you have forgotten about this game, you're not alone.
Okay.
Do you even know what this is, Darby?
No, it's not.
Okay. I think it's like a Left 4 Dead type thing.
Okay.
PS4, Xbox One, PC. Yeah, they've been talking about this game for
it's also zombies, so it literally is just Left 4 Dead, I guess.
Yeah. November 6th. Yeah, it's a multiplayer thing. They have playable characters like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't sound very interesting to me.
Nope. But they've been talking about this for a while. It's Walking Dead. We'll see how it is.
This next one's kind of interesting.
Code Vein, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, September 28th.
And love of God.
Yeah, we showed some interest in this game. I feel like they've been promoting this game a lot. But whenever I see screenshots or trailer-like stuff, it's not really that different.
Yeah.
I feel like they're showing the same things off.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see
I think they've definitely shown too much of this game, but I'm still interested to see how it turns out.
Yep. Yeah. We'll see how it compares to the other Souls-like games. I heard pretty good things so far.
Souls.
Yep, Anime Souls. That's the way to get me. Last date we have right here. Dragon Ball FighterZ Switch Edition, September 28th. Bandai Namco has 2 games coming out September 20th then.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But glad to see that game
so.
on the Switch. Kind of makes me wish that we didn't already have it. We didn't already have it on PS4, but it's cool for the people. Yeah,
especially since I heard that it runs and looks perfectly on the Switch. So,
yeah, that's sad. I wish that could have been day and date.
Yeah. Oh, also a cool thing: if you pre-order the game, you'll get a download code for the SNES game Dragon Ball Z Super Butoden.
So you almost couldn't pronounce the Dragon Ball name. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, this was a Japanese-only game.
Gotcha.
The game's in Japanese as well.
Now, what's the chance that Sony comes out and says you can crossplay with Switch, Dragon Ball FighterZ?
What? Wait, did you say Sony?
Yeah.
0. They gotta protect the kids.
Maybe they've changed their policy by that point. That's September, and if the bad press keeps coming, never know, Jeff.
They're protecting the kids, Darby.
You gotta protect the kids from those Nintendo. Nintendo services.
Okay, next thing. We're out of new game stuff, I think. Yeah, completely for today. Okay, this next story comes from Vic Hood from IGN. It's a little bit of a longer one, but interesting.
Strap in.
Bethesda is suing Westworld game developer Behavior Interactive and publisher Warner Brothers, claiming Behavior stole its design, artwork, and coding and used them in the mobile app. Bethesda accuses Behavior of stealing assets from Fallout Shelter, which Behavior helped to develop, and using them in the Westworld game. According to the suit filed, Bethesda is suing Behavior for breach of contract, while Warner Bros. Is being sued for inducement to breach of contract. In addition, both parties are being sued for the willful and intentional infringement of Bethesda copyrights, misappropriation of Bethesda's trade secrets, and deceptive business practices and unfair competitive competition through their development, marketing, and promotion of the Westworld mobile game. The main crux of Bethesda's argument is that the two games have a substantially similar gameplay experience. The company even goes as far to say the Westworld game is a blatant ripoff of Fallout Shelter, with similar game design, art style, animations, and features. Bethesda claims bugs appeared in the Westworld mobile game, which were evident in the early development of Fallout Shelter.
That's the thing that gets me the most.
Yeah. That's the thing where I'm like, okay. This bug appears when a player starts up a demonstration version of Westworld and renders the view out of focus. Other similarities noted as evidence in this suit include numerous reports from journalists who claim the game plays similarly to the multi-room underground vault environment, character behavior, shading, room placement, and more, all complete with side-by-side images. One example being people drinking alcohol.
It just baffles me that something like a company that is working on something with as big of a franchise or big of a name on it as Westworld and working with HBO, and no one catches that they're kind of blatantly copying the game they worked on before. It's not even the connection is obvious. And you're messing with Bethesda, who Bethesda's not gonna be the company that's just gonna let that happen. Bethesda, they could probably settle it, and I could see Bethesda being like, nope, we're taking you to court. Because Bethesda just
we're not lawyers, so we don't know all this stuff. But based on what it's like, okay, if it hurts that the people being sued are the ones who have developed the game, and you're having all these things, and the fact the exact same bugs. That's the part I'm like, oh, okay,
it doesn't look good, and you're doing it on this is one of the biggest mobile games to come out in the last few years. It's just, come on, man.
I just realized I need to count Will's third-party port thing. Fallout Shelter counts. I'm counting.
It does count.
It's technically counted Bethesda, but I'm just going to count it.
It does count.
Yeah, it does count. Good. The more I can think of it on my head, the less I had to go through the directing count and do my research.
Yeah, less work.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It looks like they copied it, and if they did, what the hell?
On our unprofessional opinion, we're not lawyers.
Nerds at Large guess is that.
Let me put it this way: that looks more damning than the PUBG suing Fortnite.
Oh yeah, they actually looks like they have a case, I believe.
Yeah,
it sounds like it at least.
Yep.
Who knows?
So speaking of Bethesda, Darby, this comes
Jeff
from
Way.
Jordan Rame from GameSpot. Put a little thing on one of the E's, but I didn't feel like, yeah.
Gotcha.
Although the exact launch date of the Fallout 76 beta is still a mystery, we now know it will be coming to Xbox One first. Xbox One launch exclusive. On the Fallout FAQ page, the launch date for 76 beta is listed as unknown. Players are asked to stay tuned for Fallout's social accounts before being left with one final note. The beta for Xbox One will begin first, followed by other platforms. Fallout 76 is scheduled to release November 14th. So, spoiler alert, it's coming before November 14th.
Yes. Do you know, on top of your head, I heard people say that you can only get in the beta if you pre-order the game.
I did not hear that, but I feel like that's one of those things that they would have mentioned.
I'm going to look it up because that does actually affect a lot. Because I feel like this is a game I really need to try beforehand. So I feel like that beta is important to me. Like, I really want to be in that beta to test it out. But I also don't want to pre-order the game because if I don't want the game.
Oh yeah, and just like let me know if you want to borrow my Xboxes. So depending on the beta date, if that, if you want to try it earlier / the dates is easier for you.
Yeah. I'll definitely.
Because that would be important information. Part of important seeing there's like, oh, there's a reason Fallout 76 was shown with the same trailer at Xbox. They have definitely some marketing deal going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Which seems like Microsoft has with a lot of companies at this point.
Yeah.
I might just have to. I don't want to spend too much time. It's hard to find this, but wait, yeah. Okay, this is shacknews.com. I have no clue who they are, so take this with a grain of salt. But they say the only way to get into the Fallout 76 beta at this point is to pre-order the game. Maybe that's just at this point. So that might change. Who knows? I'll look more later. I'll look more later. But if I feel like
there's one case where it's going to bite them in the butt.
Yeah, if that is the case, I feel like that's kind of a misstep because
there's a lot of
people are not sure about this game. I'm sure you could pre-order, get in the beta,
that's
and then
probably what they're
going to it. Yeah.
People are going to do.
But I would rather not have to do all that, but whatever. I mean, that just probably means I won't do it.
Though some people I've seen do for this pre-order stuff, I feel like I've saw one game do it, is you have to pre-order on the store. Oh. Like PSN, where at least on PSN you can't cancel it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You pre-order PSN, they take your money and that's done deal. Which not the worst thing in the world because you pre-order.
It's like buying a game, but yeah.
So
it could be like that.
Yeah. So.
Which you're gonna have a bunch of angry people and they pre-order, play that beta. Say you ruined my Fallout.
Hey,
and then
let me put it this way: if this is the case, they need to make sure they promote that good enough, so
people know.
I mean, obviously they get into the beta, they know, but yeah.
And again, this all might be wrong. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, Darby, I'm gonna leave it up to you to after this figure it out. To me,
I will figure it out.
That sounds like important information.
I just don't want to waste.
And also, I'm sure you want to know that information anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move on. This comes from Evan Campbell from IGN. Resident Evil 7 was the first but probably not last cloud-based game to come to Nintendo Switch from Capcom. The Wall Street Journal reports Capcom is exploring other games to release as streaming titles on Switch. Last month, the company launched Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Cloud version for the hybrid system, though the rental is only currently available in Japan. A Capcom spokesperson told Wall Street Journal that the company was still evaluating the success of Resident Evil 7 on Switch before moving forward on other cloud games, and there was no mention of what future streaming games on Switch could be. Also, so people don't go crazy, they already said they're doing other regular Switch games, retail Switch games.
Right, it's not just,
They said that like this week or something. Yeah. So, where is he put that here? Is it's interesting the fact they're still going to consider it, and that will probably be how, if any way, Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2 Remake get on Switch.
I wasn't even thinking about those, but yeah.
Yeah, because if Resident Evil 7's being done this way and it's the same engine, no reason to believe this is how they do Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Yeah. To me, my take on this is still like the same as it was a few weeks ago when we talked about this. I mean, I'm sure maybe there are people out there that this is for, but for me and for a lot of people I know who have a Switch and a PS4 or Xbox One, all these games, like, this is kind of like a workaround to get games that shouldn't be able to play on the Switch, play on the Switch. Mm-hmm. I would never ever in a million years do that instead of just getting it on my PlayStation. Like if it's Devil May Cry and I have to do this weird streaming thing where I might lose signal and like get kicked out of the game or something.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna do that when I could just buy it on my PS4 and do that. And I feel like at least right now, the majority of the people who have Switches and want to play these games also have other consoles. That might change, especially come Pokemon time. There might be a lot of people who have never owned a console since the Wii getting Switches.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there's some people that only have Switches. Because despite how we are, there are people that can only afford one game, so they might just get the Switch.
Yeah, and it's also some luxury there. And right now,
people really like playing handhelds.
Well, and right now, this is only in Japan, where consoles are way less popular anyway, and the Switch is, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be successful for them? Do you think it's coming to the States? Like, do you see this being a thing?
Potentially, depending on how it's done. I feel like the whole it being cloud will hurt it more than anything.
Has Resident Evil 7, so it's out, like, has anyone said how it runs?
I know IGN did a thing. I think I heard it's not great, but that could change and everything, so you'll see.
And it really depends on your internet signal, and a lot of people don't have good internet, so it's risky.
Indeed. Okay, next thing, just real quick. We heard some information about the Game Awards. It is December 6th, to no surprise, just the same week, or pretty much the same day as it has the last couple of years. Now, what is interesting, Darby? You know what comes out the next day?
That Smash.
Nintendo's been very generous with the awards, so we get a last-minute character announcement? Probably not.
I could see
it, but
probably not.
No, I think I got a place of going with this, but I think it was Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, or maybe an Andrea Renee.
Yeah,
brought up a good point saying that, well, review people already have it at that point.
Yeah.
All that stuff's going to be released, but DLC. Even the game's out, and some people see it as kind of scummy.
Yeah. I don't really see them announcing the DLC before the game's out, but maybe. You never know. Know. I wouldn't bank on it, but it would be pretty hype.
Yeah.
It would be pretty hype.
And they could, but...
They could.
And...
I would not be surprised. But...
It may not even be a gameplay thing. They could just do a little picture with the model. Because let's face it, at that point, they have some plans. I mean, I know some people see it as scummy, but at the same time, it's like, they're a business. They had this stuff play way down the advance. Probably have an idea who those DLC characters are.
And it's just like, I mean, the game has to be pretty much done way before it comes out because you have to test everything out. I mean, like, they have this plan, but there's no way for them to actually get the character in the game when it comes out without delaying the game. I mean, that's, game development's hard.
Also, I just realized by the time Game Awards probably is going to be over, Smash is going to come out online across the country. So, actually, that'd be a hype thing saying, hey, DLC character, and you can play it
right now.
So, that could be cool.
Yeah.
So...
But then Keeley would be losing a lot of people come midnight if he runs over.
I don't think he will. Luckily, he's toning down how long it is.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, we're getting to sales time, Darby.
Sales time!
Okay, before we get to the NPDs, like we like to do every month.
We do like to do that.
We got one little sales update. This comes from Evan Cale from IGN.
Ooh, I have not gotten the PS Plus games this month. We have not been doing this podcast enough, Jeff. Gosh, all right, continue.
Oh, yeah, I just want to talk about that last month. Yeah, been busy. This comes from Evan Campbell from IGN. After arriving on Xbox One in April, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has sold 1 million copies.
Heck yeah.
Developer Ninja Theory announced the new sales milestone for the game and thanked fans on Twitter. Hellblade originally released PS4 and PC last year before making its way to Microsoft's console and before becoming a Microsoft IP.
Yes, which is the biggest news right now.
Yeah.
On the Hellblade, on the Ninja Theory front.
Well, that's obviously the biggest news, but this is also pretty big news.
Yes.
1 million seller. It's good timing for Microsoft in a way. It's like
it looks good, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good as far as their acquisitions. Like, yep, we got the developer who made a really good game that sold well.
Yeah, and I really hope, really hope, and I think this is going to be the case, but I hope that this is even more evidence and like flags to Microsoft saying, let this studio do what this studio wants to do.
Have you watched the Ninja Theory's video about this?
Mm-mm.
It's really good. They pretty much said when they Microsoft went to them, Ninja Theory kind of said their one thing is as long as we still kind of do what we want, and I think Microsoft said done.
That's what we want to do. Yeah,
that's what we want to do.
I mean, and because again, like they put their necks out there with Hellblade, and it could have been a massive failure, and it could have like tanked the studio, and it's done so well. The fact that a game like that sold over 1 million copies, that doesn't normally happen. That's not the type of game that normally sells 1 million copies, but Ninja Theory knows what they're doing. I think at least Xbox in their mindset right now, I think they're gonna let them go.
Plus, the kind of games people will be worried about, Microsoft forcing Hellblade to make. Xbox got plenty of those. The type of games Hellblade or Ninja Theory makes is the kind of games Xbox needs to fill up their first party roster.
And I want to talk about this a lot in our like E3 thing, like recap thing, and going on further. Just Xbox making those reputation and brand changes, adding on all these companies, and
okay,
it's pretty crazy stuff.
Let's get to them NPDs, Darby.
Let's do it. Some weird ones.
Got some weird ones. Okay, so I'm gonna run through some data. We'll talk about it as we go or after I'm done. Top 10 for the month of May. Number 1, State of Decay 2, and something very important to note about this number. 1, it's on Game Pass, so that does not count towards this. 2, it's $30. NPDs run by how much money is made. So this had to sell double the amount of everything else.
Go through the list and then let's talk about it afterwards so everyone can get the list. But I want to get back to that. So
okay. God of War 2018, number 2.
Yeah.
Number 3, Detroit Become Human, which I saw as the top or the best for a Quantum Dream game.
Okay.
It beat out Heavy Rain by like 20% or something like that. Number 4, Far Cry 5. Number 5, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, not including digital sales. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto 5. I think it's always at 6 too. Number 7, which I'm kind of surprised about, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, not including digital sales.
Me too. That's Zelda name.
Yeah. Number 8, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Actually, that's kind of surprising. I didn't think about that. It's one of the ones you skipped over.
People are just really stoked for that documentary.
I guess. Number 9, Mario Kart 8, no digital sales.
Hang on.
Yeah. Number 10, NBA 2K18.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to get through them. Yeah, what? State of Decay 2 on top of the list?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about it, I guess, and well, not even that. Not like, okay, there weren't that many crazy games released in May.
No.
But at the same time, obviously, God of War is still doing very well.
Yeah.
Detroit came out, and Donkey Kong came out, and the Switch stuff. So, yeah,
I mean, I guess the only thing, I mean, it's still surprising, but I guess the thing is, all those games we just listed, none of them are like all platform games. They're all exclusive, like Detroit, Donkey Kong, everything. So like,
well, State of Decay 2 is also exclusive.
No, it is, but I'm just saying like, if there had been a
big third party all platform,
it would have beaten State of Decay 2, I'm assuming.
But still surprising because again, Game Pass and the fact that again this is done by revenue and this is half the price of everything else.
State of Decay 2 is a niche game. That is not a mass appeal game, and it was never supposed to.
Apparently not that great.
I mean, I've heard like mixed things, but
but that meant like not a masterpiece, but okay,
right,
for its crowd.
But it's like State of Decay 2 is for State of Decay fans. It's not like that game. I have no interest in that game. There are a lot of people who do, though. It's just not my type of thing, and it's not a mass appeal thing. I thought State of Decay 2 was kind of like a goodwill gesture of from Xbox.
Like we know the fans of this game want it, so we're gonna make this
right,
and they made it a smaller budget thing so they get their game and they don't have to pay out
exactly
crazy.
And that's what I was looking at my expectations for State of Decay with. So seeing this, even if it's a smaller month with the rest of these games, like because a lot of these other games have come out before, like not in May, and then some of them have, still I would have expected Detroit to sell more. And when I think about what could have made State of Decay to sell more, I would think Game Pass. When obviously that's either I would be interested to see with Game Pass also how many people played this, because it might be crazy how many people played it. If you
the same thing with Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves came out, sold a lot, and again with the Game Pass. So
and like you said, it was $30, so that means that it just sold a lot of copies.
Yeah, so. I had to sell more than double amount of copies of God of War, for example, but God of War is without.
So is this just really good for State of Decay 2 or bad for Detroit? But you also said it sold
Detroit's
more than
breaking records for Quantic Dream, so I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
But no, any way you slice this, I can't see as a negative for State of Decay.
No,
I can't anything but a positive.
No, absolutely not.
I think this broke. I can't speak for Microsoft's expectations. I haven't seen a statement or anything about sales, but I think this sold a lot better than anyone expected.
I feel like it has to have.
Yeah,
this is not what I was expecting at all.
So good for them, and also kind of good for Microsoft. This is like with Hellblade. This kind of makes Microsoft look better because they just acquired this studio.
Oh yeah. It's very, very good timing
for that and the Hellblade thing. So, and some more NPD stuff. Sony's PlayStation 4 was the best-selling console in May and remains the best-selling console this year. The Nintendo Switch 32 gigabytes with the neon blue red Joy-Cons was the best-selling hardware SKU in both units and dollar sales. And Sony's PS4, Microsoft Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch all achieved all-time unit sales highs for the month of May.
Which is crazy. I don't know what caused that, but that's
yeah. The Switch's not surprising considering it's only the 2nd May, but yeah. And because at this point in the year, I'm just like updating this. The top-selling games of the year so far. Number 1, Far Cry 5. No surprise there.
Yeah, this next one surprises me.
Number 2, God of War.
Over Monster Hunter already.
Yep. Number 3, Monster Hunter World. Number 4, Call of Duty World War II. Number 5, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yes, let's go. Actually, Switch will definitely help Dragon Ball FighterZ sales.
Yeah.
People will be double dipping.
Yes.
Not me.
No.
But people. Especially not in September.
I at least advise you not to.
Hell no. I love the game, but I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not during that month. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto 5. Always number 6. I need to go back and see how many times it was 6. I feel like it's always a 6.
They made a deal with the devil, 666.
Until Red Dead Redemption. Then it's going to be 6 every month. Yeah. Even the first month, and everyone's mind will be blown.
What?
It wasn't number 1. No, it's going to be number 1 in October.
What was that one game you said was coming out alongside it? Oh,
Soul Calibur?
Yeah, Soul Calibur is going to be number 1.
Soul Calibur is going to be Red Dead.
Yep. Calling it here.
That'd be crazy. Okay, yeah. NBA 2K18 for number 7. MLB 18 The Show at number 8. Mario Kart 8 to number 9, no digital sales. And PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds at number 10. No, I guess no Steam or digital sales.
So, am I right to be...
PC sales, sorry.
Am I right to be surprised that God of War is over Monster Hunter, seeing that they came out and they were like, Monster Hunter is like the best-selling Capcom game ever, and it sold like all this crazy stuff or whatever?
Actually, I think you're right because...
Yeah, like, should I... Like, that means just God of War sold a, like, crazy amount.
Actually, yeah.
Because I was really surprised though when I looked down and saw God of War over it.
Let me just look at something real quick.
I mean, but God of War, I remember seeing, I think it was like 10 million units or something, and that I haven't checked since then, and that was a while ago.
You saw 10 million units for God of War?
I thought.
Okay, that makes sense. I saw Monster Hunter and it was like at 8 million on Wikipedia when I looked.
Okay.
Which is still a lot, but...
That seems more. Low for like best-selling Capcom game.
Or it was at 8 million at some point, so I don't know. Point is, both are selling crazy.
Yep.
Monster Hunter probably above expectations, maybe before most people's expectations.
I would think so.
Yeah. God of War, Sony's probably like, yeah.
We knew what we were doing.
So yeah, that's not surprising, and that's just I'm happy to see for God of War's like, hey, single player games are still selling.
Yep.
And also Far Cry 5 as well.
Yep.
So that's good.
All right, Jeffrey. The main topic.
Wait, Darby.
Oh,
it's been a while.
Oh, it has been a while.
You were forgetting.
We are running long, so let's try to make this a quick game, Jeffrey.
Okay, well, it depends on you.
All right. I'll try not to deliberate long.
Okay, Darby. We just had E3.
We did just have E3.
And at E3, there are trailers.
There are trailers.
And those trailers, they go up on YouTube.
Oh, no. Yeah, they do.
And sometimes people rank how many people view them.
They rank? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to have to see how they figure out how they rank.
All right. I'm going to be bad at this. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, he's pulling out paper. Oh, am I writing stuff down? This is going to take a long time. This is not seeming like a fast thing.
Or I can write it down to make it easier. I don't know.
Okay.
Point is,
So explain to me how this is working.
I have the list of the top 20
trailers,
and their views. You're gonna focus on the top 10, Darby.
Okay.
You're gonna name 10 games that you think are in the top 10. I say for you to win, you only need to get 5.
Okay.
I think that's just always a good threshold for
that.
This
Makes sense to me. Okay.
And just also make it clear, this is only singular trailers, not counting like IGN's trailer and the official trailer type thing.
Okay.
Just a singular trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Single trailer.
By that I mean like singular YouTube video, not like the official one and IGN's repost of it, not combined.
Yeah, you're not combining. Yeah. Okay. And these are all like the trailer like from the press conferences and stuff, right? Like from
just any E3 trailer.
Okay. Cyberpunk.
And yeah, don't worry about correct order. You just gotta name.
Oh God, no.
Definitely. I'm not evil.
I do think Cyberpunk might be near the top. Ridley.
Uncle Ridley.
I mean, I'm guessing that's the only thing about Smash that would be a single trailer, right? The rest of it's just kind of.
It's up to you.
I just assumed. I assume we're just talking about trailers, not like gameplay stuff.
Okay. The list I have is just by game.
Okay.
So,
okay.
What games do you think have the top trailer? So,
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I was gonna put ass.
Okay. Let's go with Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Ghost of Tsushima. Spoderman.
I'm putting Spoderman.
Don't know if I should have said Ghost of Tsushima. Last of Us Part 2.
Got 3 more.
Death Stranding. Jump Force. Halo Infinite.
Okay.
Okay.
This is for time. I'm not gonna let you try to think about it. Okay, we're down. I'll tell you if you're right. Then we'll go through the top 10.
All right.
The official top 10. Cyberpunk. It is on there.
Good.
Super Smash Bros. It is not.
Oh, what?
That one. Actually, let me scroll down a little.
BS, man.
Super Smash Bros. I don't know which trailer was number 13.
What the hell, guys? Smash. You said it's the ultimate Smash. Come on. What are you doing?
Ass. Wrong. It is number 12.
Like, so what video is it of Assassin's Creed? Because, like, they didn't have a trailer either. They just had that giant gameplay.
They had a trailer in there.
Okay. I thought they just had just
RE2. Nope.
I'm going to lose then.
It is at 18.
I need to see what is in this list.
Ghost of Tsushima. Correct.
Okay.
Spider-Man. Not even on this list.
There's no way Ghost of Tsushima got more than Spider-Man.
Oh, it is on there.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on the list, but not in the top 10.
That makes no sense to me.
If it means anything, they're close.
It makes no freaking sense to me.
Last of Us. Yes. Death Stranding. Yes. Jump Force. Not even on this list.
So I lost.
Halo. Yes.
Alright.
5. You got enough for the pass.
Just squeaked by. It's like my whole life.
How'd you like that one, Darcy?
That was good. I like that a lot. I'm sorry that we were rushed, but I like that.
Okay, it's fine. Here's the top 10.
Give me
Number 1, Fallout 76.
Oh,
19 million.
Duh.
Yeah. Part of the reason I pointed this because there was some tricky ones in there thinking.
I was trying. That was duh.
Number 2, Cyberpunk. 13.5 million. Number 3, Last of Us Part 2. 10.3 million. 4, Doom Eternal. 9 million.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Doom's pretty well known.
Doom's pretty popular.
Short trailer. Yeah. Number 5, Devil May Cry 5.
I thought about that one.
7.5 million. 6, Ghost of Tsushima. 7.4 million. 7, Elder Scrolls 6, 7.2.
Like the JPEG?
I mean, it was something. Number 8, Death Stranding 6.9. Number 9, Halo Infinite 6.3. And number 10, FIFA 19. 6.06. And just one for the other ones real quick in the top 20. Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed, Smash, Kingdom Hearts, Battlefield, Skyrim Very Special Edition.
Of course.
Anthem, Resident Evil, Sea of Thieves, Dying Light 2.
Okay. Some of that's surprising. Some of that is surprising.
Yep.
And how low Halo is on that, too.
Yeah.
Halo's dropped off a good bit, man.
I mean, starting from Devil May Cry down for the first couple, they were really close.
All right, Jeffrey. Now main topic time.
Main topic.
And it's the only main topic that makes sense right now.
Yeah.
It's the Fortnite debacle.
Yep.
Do you want to read us?
I got
Catch
some
us
stuff.
up to date with us a little bit, and then we can just discuss.
Yeah. It's not a crazy, but yeah, we'll go for it. Okay, this comes from Leo Kellion from BBC. Gamers have discovered that if they had first played the title on PlayStation console or Fortnite PlayStation console, they are unable to use the same Fortnite account with the newly released Nintendo Switch edition. This prevents them from being able to make use of outfits and other in-game purchases and rewards they have accrued. There is no such limitation when moving between the Xbox One and the Switch version. Gamers were already unable to share a Fortnite account between Microsoft and Sony's platforms, and yeah, and this is Sony's response to the whole thing.
Yes.
We're always open to hearing what the PlayStation community is interested in to enhance their gaming experience. With more than 80 million monthly active users on the PlayStation Network, we built a huge community of gamers who can play together on Fortnite and all online titles. We also offer Fortnite Crossplay support at PC, Mac, iOS, and Android devices, expanding the opportunity for Fortnite fans on PS4 to play with even more gamers on other platforms. We have nothing further to add beyond this at this point. I should have said nothing statement, but here we go. Some other things. Microsoft and Nintendo have been playing it up on Twitter about this whole thing, and even have a new Minecraft trailer kind of
This just a giant middle finger to Sony. I mean, it's all just like, hey, play together, survive together. Like, we love playing together.
Yeah.
They both just look at Sony.
And just something that's kind of funny, that's kind of unrelated to this, comes from Nick's Santangelo. From
whatever.
From IGN. Fortnite fans in the market for a PS4 might want to hold out a few more weeks. An Italian PlayStation Facebook post has revealed that a Fortnite PlayStation 4 bundle is coming July 16th. Including the package is a special Royal Bomber skin, seeing the image below on IGN, blah, 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 and as well as 500 V-Bucks.
So yeah, just in the midst of all this bad press, they're releasing a Fortnite bundle, which is kind of hilarious. All right.
Yep.
So this is, like, at least I think, even though it's not as exciting as all the like game trailers and stuff, I think this is definitively the biggest news story to come out of E3 week. The biggest like event in gaming is this whole thing.
It was the most talked about to anyone outside of E3, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that matters the most when it comes to the gaming industry at large. Again, it's not as fun and flashy, but I think this is it. And boy, Jeff, does PlayStation look bad right now.
Yeah, that statement. I mean, statement.
Yeah, and this is so. Like, I definitely want to talk about this because I've heard a lot of people. Like, I've heard some people defending Sony and some people just kind of going back and forth on certain things. And there are certain things that I've had to like stop and think about because, like, yes, it is true that in the vast majority of third-party games, pretty much all but Fortnite and Minecraft now, whenever you buy it on a certain platform, there's no expectation that all your progression, you're going to be able to go and play it on a different copy and a different system and be able to like carry that over. That's never been a thing, and it's not a thing in any other platform. While this is true, the fact of the matter is, like, the exception has been made, obviously, for Fortnite and Minecraft, and whether obviously Sony doesn't want to do that and whatever, but at the end of the day, Fortnite is the biggest game in the world. There's people like everyone who I work with at the clinic who like never plays video games ever are asking me about Fortnite. That's how big Fortnite is at this point. And the fact that they don't know the intricacies, they don't know the history of all this stuff. All they know is that their kids can play Switch to Xbox, Switch to PC, Xbox PC, all that.
Yep.
Like, we just did that the other night. PlayStation is literally the only one that you can't do that with. And worse than that, like, I honestly, sorry.
Okay, well, technically we could have done that on PS4. We could play with phones and laptops to PS4.
Yes, but we can with the Switch. And the worst part is, like, that I don't even remember. I don't even know if it was on your thing there, which is fine. Though, in my opinion, like, the worst thing is if you have been building up a bunch of
We're in there.
if you like build up a bunch of like skins and you have a bunch of progression in Fortnite and you've been playing on Xbox and PC and all that, you play PlayStation once and your account is tainted.
Yeah. You're not allowed to log on to anyone. So me and Darby both had to make separate Epic accounts so we could play on Switch.
Which, we had barely played, so it's not that big of a deal. But there's people who have put like hundreds of dollars into this and stuff like that.
For us, it's more inconvenience. Like, I gotta find another email account.
Yeah, I've used this secondary email account and never used.
Which probably will make these now our main Fortnite accounts. I feel like this could be a way for a lot of people who didn't invest all that time and money into it.
So I kind of want to just ask a few questions just to lead the discussion. Okay. I think definitively me and you both think this is a bad look for Sony and that they're like the odd man out here. How bad do you think this is? Like, do you think this pressure is going to continue to be placed on them, or do you think this is something that's just going to kind of blow away? Like,
I feel like it's one of those things that people gotta keep on pushing for.
Yeah.
And Microsoft and Nintendo, especially Microsoft, kind of still continually make jokes for, because it benefits Microsoft that they keep it in the public's mind.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I mean, this is a huge marketing win right now.
Because, again, like this article mentioned, this has been a thing on Microsoft for a while. It was just didn't come up until it came on the Switch, because people have a reason to have an Epic account on PS4 and Switch a lot more than compared to a PS4 and Xbox account.
Yeah, and it's when you look at it as just like the companies, like them just being game hardware companies, it seems weird that it's like, why didn't you complain about this before? But I think we all know there's a difference between Xbox and PlayStation and then Switch.
And I think it's also safe to say most people complaining about this, they didn't know.
Yeah,
most people don't have a reason to know that you couldn't do that with the Xbox.
Right, a lot of people don't. And but there's just a physical difference between I want to have this game on the go. Yeah. Like the Xbox and PlayStation are not that much of a difference. And maybe it's just something that we project onto it, but it's just honestly, it still wouldn't be great, and Microsoft would still look better in a lot of ways because of what they're doing. But I would kind of understand it if PlayStation never allowed the crossplay stuff with Xbox, because they see them as their direct competitor. Their box is very similar to PlayStation's box. People buy it for the same reasons and everything else. Switch, I don't understand quite as much.
I think it's part of it that probably they feel like they can't do the thing with Xbox if they do it with Switch. I know, I get what you're saying, and I agree, but in their mind, as far as optics go, Nintendo and Microsoft should be looked at as equal things.
Yeah.
Compared to PC and mobile and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and this is another one of those things and I've seen people argue this, from Sony's perspective, they're definitively the market leader, and they still, I want to have a full discussion about how Microsoft's changing the game, changing how they look and everything going forward. Microsoft, I want to talk about that more later, but Microsoft is doing a whole lot of kind of desperate but awesome consumer-friendly moves in order to build some goodwill back, and it's working. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, as much as I admire Xbox for everything it's doing, PlayStation still has the games by a country mile. Their exclusives are so much better, and at the end of the day, that's still what's going to get me buying one console over the other, more than this stuff.
I agree, but
it's the slow build. It's the slow build up.
I agree, but the part of the reason why we were PS3 people instead of Xbox towards the end, as far as that stuff goes, is the fact the average Joe who'll be getting these consoles don't care about necessarily all those PlayStation games that for 1 or 2. they mainly care about the Fortnites, the FIFAs,
They do.
and all that kind of stuff. So those kind of people are what might go en masse to the Xbox.
And because if Xbox becomes the best place to play these games, which a lot of these, like, Xbox is definitively the best console place to play Fortnite right now, because you can play with anyone. You can play with all your other friends.
As long as it's on PS4.
Not as on PS4, but on PlayStation, you're completely locked out. That it's definitive, and that's why you see people. Obviously, not many. It's like not a lot of people have all the consoles and stuff, but you see people like Greg Miller that he was saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna stop playing on PS4. I might as well just like switch over to Xbox and play on Xbox and Switch."
Yeah, because he wants. I think part of the main thing is for him, it'll probably be a way for many people. But also, again, Greg Miller was kind of like us and wasn't as invested into his account, but was rightfully not happy about this whole thing.
And that's what in that situation, Sony loses a customer because of this.
Yeah, again, Greg and a lot of people think they want to play on Switch, but if the only other console that shares that stuff with it is the Xbox, why wouldn't you make that?
And like, even if we're just looking at one platform, when it comes to a game like Fortnite, it's not very technically like demanding and everything. It's like free and it's low poly and everything like this. You just played it on your phone the other night. If I'm gonna play this, I am 100. If I can only choose one platform, there's not even a question in my mind it's gonna be Switch. Yeah, because I can play it on the go. I can play it anywhere else.
And the PlayStation, we played, like we said earlier, we played it and it runs fine on the Switch. I mean, we had a couple framey things going on your Dan last night, but that was more your internet than the game. The Switch point.
I'm surprised we were.
It ran actually really well. Like, and my thing, it's run well on the handheld. Actually, I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's definitely good enough.
Yeah. And where I was going with this before, I kind of forgot. I got sidetracked. But on from PlayStation's standpoint, they are the market leader by so much and everything. So it doesn't make business sense for them, to let someone buy, like, they don't want people buying something on Xbox and using it on PlayStation and stuff like that. I kind of get it from a business sense, even though it's starting to not even make sense there in certain ways, like we just talked about with Greg. But I think, so from Sony's business perspective, I understand that, but from a consumer's perspective, I don't give a crap what's best for them. And I hate it when I see people defend it in that way. It's like, yeah, that makes sense, but whatever Sony's, like, whatever does, like, Sony's market share doesn't do anything for me. I'm a consumer. Like, I like playing, Sony's my favorite platform because of the exclusives and everything, but if they make me mad enough, like, I'll switch to someone else. I don't have, like, this, like, die-hard loyalty to this brand. I'm a consumer who's gonna go to the one who gives me what I want the most. And from a consumer perspective, when every other competitor on the market is doing this one thing and you're not, I'm gonna call you out for not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's getting, like you said, maybe getting to a point where you may not even be to argue or doesn't make sense from a business perspective, because that's just another checkmark that Xbox has over them as far as being consumer friendly. Yep. And I've seen some people bring this up, like at the beginning of the generation, Sony was championing for the players. Yeah.
Well, and that's like, we basically, with that commercial, that Minecraft commercial, we basically just saw the reverse of that, of the jab that Sony did in 2013 with the game sharing thing. It's basically the tables, like, the tables were turning over the last few years, where the Xbox is slowly doing Games Pass, backwards compatibility, crossplay, all these things. The tables have turned now.
Yeah, we saw in a Nintendo Switch commercial, we saw on Xbox.
Like, the rules are being broken at this point. Yeah. Like, the rules are being, like, completely shattered over, and PlayStation is looking like an, like, archaic relic in the past. But at the same time, again, I don't, like, think Microsoft's going to come overtake them, and they're not going to take me, because The Last of Us and Spider-Man, all these. This is why we're in a weird situation where Xbox is definitively the most consumer-friendly and best place to play third parties. All that stuff is so true in Xbox. But PlayStation still has this kind of, like, stranglehold on the market and me that I don't see going away. So it's weird. It's a weird...
We'll have to wait and see on that, because people could probably said that. I mean, we kind of thought we weren't into it going into this generation with the Xbox 360 and PS3.
It was even true in 360 and PS3. I mean, 360 had more exclusives back then, but especially by the end, PS3 still had way more. It was just Xbox was where you played your third parties. And like, if things don't change right now with the way that these companies are looking and the way their like image is going forward right now, where Xbox is definitely trending up, Sony trending down, that console reset will be the best thing that's ever happened to Microsoft.
Yeah. Though and we've mentioned this before, the thing that could hurt the whole thing of Xbox overtaking PS for sales wise is the whole fact you can play their exclusives on
Windows,
PC. Yeah. So that could hurt, and something we still need to check. I'm pretty sure Game Pass works on PC.
Yeah. That's
like,
what
but,
Xbox.
But still, they make money off that. So even if they don't have the whole, they can't claim, oh, we've sold the most systems. They can say we're making a lot of money, we're doing really well, people are liking us. I mean,
definitively because of all that, Xbox has kind of a brand identity crisis where like they act proud of the Xbox, but they also kind of diminish its worth by putting everything also on PC. You know, it's kind of a weird dichotomy there. I mean, if their financials are fine, then they're fine. But just from an image perspective, it doesn't look good because we're still so caught up in the console war. Like that's still how we operate. That's still how our minds operate when we think about this stuff. When it's
fortunately it's that way, but I don't care. Microsoft just beef up those first party exclusives, and I'll be fine.
And they are. That's what they're made. That this E3. It, as well as like in addition to just like we're gonna show you all these games, as someone who loves video games, you're gonna love this conference because of all these games. And it's also like, let's take a second to show you, look at all these first parties that we're going towards, like that we're beefing up where you want us to be beefing up.
Here are these 18 exclusives we have, and here are these studios which don't necessarily have exclusive for right now, but here's the future.
Yeah. So let's wrap this back on Fortnite, because we've kind of just developed into just Xbox. Do you think Sony's going to change? Because I feel like if the pressure keeps up, they have to. But at the same time, if they do, then the floodgates are open for crossplay going forward. Because if you open it up with Fortnite, it's going to be, what about this game? It's going to be, what about this game? And I even think that Xbox and Switch might have already opened this floodgate in a good way. Like, I mean floodgate in a good way, but like, I could see this being the start of it, and I could see a lot of future games having this crossplay thing.
I agree, and another game you didn't mention with the crossplay is Rocket League.
Rocket League, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the biggest multiplayer games are getting it now, and that's just going to get, you assume, going to continue in the future. It's one of those things, the more Sony pushes back against this, the worse they're going to look. And not even assuming, considering the whole crossplay thing, which I think Sony should just rip off that Band-Aid and do it, because again,
it feels inevitable, right?
Here's the thing, we're not long from the next console generation, and if Microsoft is a lot more competitive against them and it's close, Sony will probably have to do that to help.
So it might take until then. None of this might happen.
Well, even then, we kind of got off of it. The main reason people are upset about this whole Fortnite thing is the fact Sony is locking those accounts.
Yeah.
So that's the main people thing.
And that's not even like, a lot of this is like crossplay would be great.
Yeah.
But like, we're not even asking for that. It's literally just don't hold people's account hostage. That's literally like,
there's absolutely no reason for that.
You just do that.
It's not even the. I mean, I guess people could come up with. I heard people come up with something, but it's not even really the business thing for that. Unless you want to go, well, actually, if Sony doing that, that means you have to buy it on their thing and they'll make money. Like, no, that's just dumb. I mean, yes, that's what makes.
If you want to play on Switch, you're just gonna go play on Switch. You're just not.
Yeah, and again, that even make business sense even less because, like you said, people like Greg Miller are gonna move to other consoles and spend money on there definitively.
Yeah, like. I could see, like, maybe they think in the short run, they're like, look, but so many people are buying stuff on Fortnite here, we're going to lose them to the Switch. But in the long run, I think you're just going to push more people away.
This arguably means they're losing more people.
Yeah, I mean, you're at least just losing a different section of people.
I mean, again, what reason do we have to play on PS4 at the moment?
None.
Yeah.
None. I mean, especially you that has an Xbox. Like,
yeah, if I'm going to do a whole thing, I might as well just play it on Xbox. Because the reason's not going to run.
I mean, you can play on Xbox and I can play on Switch. I mean, if you wanted to play on a console like that. No, like, you have no reason to ever touch PS4.
Yeah, if we really wanted to, depending on, how many people we have in the Switch available to us, I can play on my Xbox. we can have
And
3 people
everyone
play on
on Switch.
Switches.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem. It's like kind of crazy to see this was picked up by like BBC and like a lot of like
I
big...
just had I mean, admittedly, I don't know if I only watched a little of the Minecraft commercial. I don't think I had this, but a good thing Microsoft and Nintendo could do, it seems like they're opening to having like each other thing in the commercial, is having a commercial of a father playing on an Xbox and their kids playing on Switches, playing Fortnite or Minecraft. That's all
you can see it right
yeah.
now in that Switch format with the Karens, like
Yeah.
all those people. Yeah,
because I've read stories about people like parents doing that. They're playing on their Xbox while the kids play on the Switch, and they're just loving it.
I know we're rambling because like we always are. That's anyone watching.
Main
that,
topic.
like,
This is the last thing.
wouldn't you have loved to have been a fly on the wall, or hear the conversation, the phone call or whatever from Microsoft to Nintendo? That would just be so interesting to hear, because that had to happen. There was negotiation of like, we're gonna do this commercial and stuff, and just to see like that commercial, like, could, I don't want to be hyperbolic, but that commercial could have more implications for the future of video games and these companies than we give it credit for. Because, like, it's easy to get wrapped up in the, haha, they're, like, burning Sony, it's a sick burn on Sony. We just saw 2 of the big 3, like, completely, like, teaming together in such a public way. That doesn't happen.
And here's the thing.
That does not happen.
I mean, they could, but how can you go back from that?
It's hard to. I mean, it's really, really hard to, because now we're all just waiting for the next thing. We're waiting for the next, like, collaboration thing with this. And maybe this ends up just being they just got together as with a very convenient jab at Sony. But I like to believe that we're gearing towards a different type of interaction.
And obviously, Microsoft and Nintendo can't play nice. I know there's a different situation, but we have Nintendo stuff in technically a Microsoft game with Minecraft.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird to think about. Microsoft owns Minecraft.
You can get achievements on your Switch.
Yeah.
you can get Xbox achievements. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. And, like, I think if they push far enough into this, it's like, I mean, imagine if Xbox and Nintendo just become, like, you just recognize those brands as, like, linked in a lot of ways. It could be crazy. Yeah, but
and Banjo and Smash.
That's obviously where this leads. But I think I'm ready to wrap up. If you are.
Yep.
I'm glad we finally got to talk about it, though. That's a very interesting conversation, and I think we're gonna be talking about it more in the future.
Yeah,
for sure. It's crazy.
We'll definitely give updates if any happen to arise.
Well, thank you for listening. So thank you so much for listening. Definitely check out all of our other stuff. Check out our Pokemon Nuzlocke series that we're like 7 episodes in now. I think it's going pretty well. Do you, Jeff?
Yep. We're doing another recording session this upcoming week. At least we're planning on it.
I'm excited. I think it's pretty funny.
Yep.
So check that out. Check out all of our...
start getting brutal.
It might start. It's gonna start getting brutal. We're gonna lose some boys. It's gonna be bad. Check out all of our E3 stuff. Check out. We should have a God of War spoiler cast coming up. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Should we look at potentially trying to do that when we meet with Will to record?
We should try. We should maybe try to do that.
Yeah.
Suppose we could do Incredibles 2. I really don't have much to say. I mean, it was a good movie, but I don't really have much to unpack about it, so I don't really know if I want to. But
yeah, we can save the superhero movie stuff for when Ant-Man and we do our Marvel thing.
Yeah, you can watch Ant-Man. All right. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.